Hi everyone, welcome back to Home with Daisy, and today I will be showing you how to make perfect royal icing. This recipe is only 3 ingredients, so stay tuned and I'll show you every tip and trick I know. To start, you're going to need powdered sugar, meringue powder, and your favorite extract. I love almond extract in this particular cookie, so I use it because it just gives it a little bit of sparkle. People are always wondering, what is that flavor? It's the almond extract. Here I weighed my ½ pound of powdered sugar, but you can also just do 1/4 of the bag, which is again ½ pound. I'm letting you know that you should definitely do more than double or even triple this recipe. It's really something that you do not want to run out of as you're in the middle of decorating cookies. Here I'm whisking in my meringue powder with my powdered sugar to get an even mixture. Lastly, add your clear extract and the 3 tablespoons of water and whisk it for about 5 minutes or so on medium. There are 3 consistencies of icing that I'll show you, and this first one is the stiff icing. This is what it'll look like, just those stiff peaks. A side note, if you're in a time crunch, you can store your meringue icing in the fridge. This one's been stored for a week. Just put some saran wrap on it so it doesn't form a hard crust, and just dump it into your mixer and mix like usual. At this point, you want to get a cup and your piping bag ready. Go ahead and put your piping bag into the cup. This will be a really easy way to scoop your icing into it without getting messy. Squeeze the icing all the way down and add a rubber band to the end so it doesn't come out of the top. The next consistency is the medium, so I add a couple of more tablespoons of water and start whisking. Just add a little at a time until you get something that's a little bit softer than the stiff, and this is what it's going to look like, just a little bit softer. The third consistency is the flood consistency, so go ahead and add a tiny bit more water, mix it around, and you want to look for it looking like it's melting into itself almost instantly. This one is really soft. To dye my icing, I use the squeeze gel bottles here. This one I'm going to make blue. I use a little toothpick and go ahead and just add it into a bowl with the icing and start to mix it up. At this point, it's looking a little bit of a generic blue. So what I do to offset that is I use the opposite of the color I have and add a dash of that in there. So the opposite of blue is orange. And I know you're thinking you're crazy, you're gonna add orange to blue. Trust me, it's gonna tone down the blue. It's gonna give it a high-end colored look, and it's just gonna make it look like a custom color. You can do this with any color. For instance, if you're trying to get a deeper red, the opposite is green. If you're trying to tone out your yellow, add a little bit of purple and it's gonna be the opposite. So here, I really like the way that turned out. Now, if you have a bag of color that you've already had pre-mixed, maybe from a couple days before, it does tend to separate, as you can see here. All you have to do is just go ahead and knead the bag until it homogenizes back into itself and becomes the same consistency as it was when you first mixed it. This way you're not wasting any color, and if you're decorating cookies several times, you can have multiple colors here made from prior days. Okay, and here are the colors that I've ended up with so far. Have some flooding, some medium, and some stiff. Lastly, you want to go ahead and cut your bag alongside of the seam. So I have the seam on top and I'm going to cut it straight across. So if you need a little bit of practice, take some parchment paper, use all of your different consistencies. This one happens to be the stiff one, but just practice and then go ahead and do some on the cookies. If you need to save this bag for later, just squeeze out the end and then flip the edge over so that way your icing doesn't dry out. And just to let you know, This is my 5th year doing royal icing, and it took me that long to really perfect it and understand the different consistencies and how to work with it. But my best advice, you just have to practice. So go ahead and get baking. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions, just go ahead and comment below and I will get back to you. I appreciate you all and happy baking.